Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Well, today I want to talk about some Rolling Stones. Let's talk about the 1980 album Emotional Rescue. This one is a Presswell pressing, original press from 1980. There's the front cover right there. The back is like this. I have this cover listed as near mint. This is one of the ones that came to me from the vinyls, the gods of vinyl. It's got the original owner's name written in it. These are one of the ones that I found in the dumpster. Now, when I talk about those records that I found in the dumpster and talk about the condition they were in, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, this one has a little tiny ding right there. But overall, this thing is solid with no foxing, no creases, no anything else. And inside, it originally came with a poster. This is a poster. If you unfold this poster, which I don't think was ever unfolded until I unfolded it. I've unfolded it one time. It'll keep going. It's 5 feet by 2 feet. This is what came with the record, 5 feet by 2 feet. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing here for you guys, but just know this was inside of it, and I don't think it had ever been unfolded. When I unfolded it, I'm like, oh, what's in here? And I opened it up. I'm like, this thing's never been unfolded as far as I can tell. And then the record itself, I had listed as near mint, but I may have to take that down to a VG plus because as I was playing it, I heard a pop and there was a skip that I'll explain a little bit later. This album I've never heard before until I played it the other day. I've had it since I found those records. It's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years since I found those records. So, and I'd never played this Rolling Stones album. Me, myself, not a huge Stones fan. I do like their early 60s stuff. I like, all the hits that we all know. As a teenager, I had a copy of Tattoo You, which is an album I love, and I just also picked that up within the last 6 months. But we're not talking about Tattoo You. Today, we're talking about Emotional Rescue. So this song starts off, the first song is called Dance, and it kicks in and it's really kind of funky. And as I was listening to it, I'm like, it sounds like stuff that Talking Heads was doing at the time. Of course, this is 1980, so the Stones don't sound like they did in the 60s or the early 70s as they did in early 1980. So the first song, Dance, was, like I said, it kind of reminded me of the Talking Heads. And then, you kind of get some cool, funky beats and some bass lines in the next couple of songs on there. None of these are really hits. There are 2 hits on this album, but the first side's got a song called Dance, like I said, which kind of reminded the Talking Heads. And then Summer Romance, Send It to Me, Let Me Go, and Indian Girl. And, in Let Me Go, you can definitely hear the blues influences that the Stones have. And the last song, Indian Girl, side 1, was very soulful and very, lyrically and just musically, it was just great. Very emotional feeling for me to feel when I was listening to what he was singing about. It was very emotional and very soulful. Just a really, really good song. And then we flipped it over, and the first song on side 2 is called Where Do the Boys Go? Where the Boys Go. And it's really kind of jazzy, kind of, and that's the one that's got a pop in the song, but it doesn't cause any skipping. It just kind of pops, but it was fairly loud. So I may have to change this, like I said, from near mint to, to VG plus. The second song is just total blues fest, Down in a Hole. It sounds like something that could have been done in 30s or 40s. The third song, Emotional Rescue, is the title track. We all know that song. It's been played a million times on the radio. And the fourth song, She's So Cold, is also another hit that's been played on the radio. And that is one that had a scratch in it. And it was enough to stop the needle from moving. And it just kept skipping over and over. So I went past it, played it, finished the album. And the last song, called All About You, it's kind of weird and all over the place. It doesn't really have its own style. I'm not sure what it is. It's like they're mixing genres together. So I pulled the record off because of the skip, and I looked and I didn't really see anything. And then I kind of saw what was causing it. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. Probably not, because I cleaned it very, very well. I got out. It was right at the end of the song, and I could see like a line right there. And I was like, okay, well, there's a line there. So I cleaned it with the liquid and the felt brush, and I cleaned it really, really good, but you could still see a faint line there. So I cleaned it a little bit more. And then when I played the song again to see if it was going to continue skipping, is all it did is pop and it moved right on. So it's in there, but it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't dirt. It didn't look like dirt. It looked like a scratch. But usually you can't just fix a scratch by cleaning it with your record cleaning solution and your felt brush. So I'm not sure what it was, but it didn't come all the way off, but it did get lighter. And like I said, when I played the song again, it played through. It did have a pop and it played through. So I've got 2 pops. Besides that, and the one was a skip. So hopefully it'll remain a pop and not go back to being a skip. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do I change this from a near mint to a VG plus? I really think I need to change it to a VG plus. But overall, I think it's a great album. It's early 80s. It's the album right before Tattoo You, which was, to me, the Stones, that era of the Stones. I remember seeing the videos for Start Me Up and stuff like that when I was preteen or barely a teen. And yeah, I would have been a preteen when this album came out. So seeing that and just thinking, I remember thinking, 40 plus years ago that Mick Jagger was so old compared to all the other rock stars of the time. That's old music. That's the Rolling Stones. That's what my parents listened to. What am I paying attention to this for? But, this is a great album, and Tattoo You is a great album. And, their earlier stuff and their Satanic Majesty's Request is one of my favorite psychedelic albums of all time. So overall, I do like the Rolling Stones, and how can you not? And they're still out there doing it. They just put out an album like a month ago. They're all in their 80s. They're still doing it. Of course, Charlie's no longer with us, but everything else. So this album, depending on where you go, it could cost you like $80, So in the Discogs world, it runs around, the medium price, I don't know. The high price is $80. And I don't know if I would charge $80 for this. It looks like they're running around $30, $35 for one in decent condition. So, if you like the Stones, especially if you can get one with the poster still in it, it's not really, it's kind of like newspaper type paper. So I will never unfold and hang this up on the wall with all the other stuff. So, but I was glad that it came with it. And all those records that I found, pretty much all those records I found with all the inserts, they're all still there and all in very good shape. So I am happy that the Vinyl Gods gave me this record, and I would be listening to this on other occasions. Like I said, it was the first time I had played it. Not being a huge Stones fan, it's the first time I played it, and the reason I played it is I went to Discogs and hit random item, and it came up. And as I was listening, I'm like, okay, take notes. This is the one for a show. So, yeah, go ahead and pick it up. Like I said, this one here was a specialty pressing. Did I say that right? Was it a specialty pressing? Oh, hell, look, my notes are all over the fucking place now. Presswell pressing, not a specialty pressing. So Presswell pressing 1980. VG Plus, we're going to call the record VG Plus. So, I mean, I'm assuming you guys would agree with that. I would say the sleeve is VG Plus to mint minus. So yeah, go ahead, give it a listen. You won't be disappointed. That first song, like I said, kind of sounds like the Talking Heads. And then you've got Emotional Rescue and She's So Cold on there. And those songs were fucking great. And that last song on side 1 is very, very soulful. Indian Girl, great song. If you don't know it, just give that a listen. We've all got the streaming devices. Give it a listen before you decide to buy. You got to love the Rolling Stones, always putting their nice tongue on there. So, all right. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Emotional Rescue. 4 stars. I'll give it 4 out of 5 stars due to the fact that Emotional Rescue and She's So Cold are just great songs. So maybe 3.5 out of 5 stars. All right. Thanks again. Like I said, Rolling Stones, give it a listen, and we'll talk to you guys all later.